going to do a little experiment and try to teach you virtually your first kata, but also teach Gabe for the first time his first kata. And also, let's see if we could do this through a follow along slash application method, right? So what's going to happen here is, Gabe, so what you're going to do, you're going to imagine we're faced the same way. You're going to imagine a punch is coming in this way, and you're going to open up your elbow like this, kind of like you're receiving that punch. And you're going to throw your elbow to your hand here. Easy. So do that again. Open up, elbow. Open up, elbow. Now you can imagine, let's say the arm was going here, so if I was there, you opened up, boom, you throw the elbow to my head here. Great. So I'll palm here, so we'll do that again. Open up, elbow. Boom. Now look at where your elbow is here now. It made contact with my head. So now you can imagine this hand goes behind my head like that, and you can grab both your hands behind my head after that, right? So you went open up, elbow. This one goes behind my head. Grab your hands together. Yes. So you went open up, elbow. This one goes behind my head. Grab your hands together. Great. So you went again. Boom. Back. Grab. Hands together. Cool. So now what's going to happen is you have control over someone's posture. That means you're going to try to pull them down, right? You went strike to the head, boom, grab behind the head, you're going to pull them down. Now it's a lot more practical to pull someone down with a little twist. So if I just pulled straight down, they can just posture straight up, right? So when I pull down, I'm going to turn them to the side, kind of like I'm going to take them down like that. Yeah, so what you're going to do is you're going to go here, and what's going to happen is you're going to turn the hand over like you're twisting your head off to the side. Perfect. And you see how it goes palm up from here and palm down, just pretending like you're holding the head in there, right? So you can do that on me. So you open up, boom, elbow, grab behind the head, then you grab and you twist, and you're there. Great. Cool. So we'll call that sequence 1, all right? So we could do that in a line. So if we're doing it face the camera this way, let's switch roles, that way you kind of watch me. So our feet are together, right? And then let's just memorize this footwork here. So my hands are going to cross like that, and I'm going to step across like this. Yep, and I'm going to uncross my legs. Now we're going to do that sequence. Someone's throwing the haymaker here, I opened up, all the way to the side, I throw the elbow. Now, just to shortchange it a little bit, instead of going behind the head like this, you're just going to pretend like you're going to pull straight to your hip here. Yep, and then the hands one up, one down, pretending like you have the head, right? So let's say we already did that crisscross and we ended up here. So we opened up, elbow, and then just pull straight to your hip. Now, sequence 2, imagine so let's say we're back in the fighting stance. Someone's throwing like a punch to your stomach here, and you get it out of the way, right? So you're blocking it down like that. Yes. Now, you already opened up that space, so it makes sense for you to kind of just counter, right? So you're gonna block and punch, block, punch. Cool. So you're facing me, I throw a punch here, blocking the punch. Good. Again, block, punch. Again, punch. Cool. So let's turn that into sequence 2. So let's sequence 1, you went open up, boom, elbow, you pull my head, boom. Now we got sequence 2, block, punch. Nice. So if we did that in a straight line, let's say we got to here, we got to the open up part, open up, elbow, pull in. And now when I block, instead of blocking in front, I'm just pretending like I'm going to go all the way to the side here. Block, and then instead of punching straight, since I blocked to the side, I'm actually going to punch across this way. Perfect. So the footwork after that, we're just going to cross back. So cross back and get to here. Cool. Now sequence 3, all we're going to do is we're going to go here, here, and over the top. So if you're facing me, let's say we're facing the camera, we have the fighting stance. Switch your feet just so it feels a little more natural. So you're actually going to block like this, like you're getting something out of the way, and then you're going to go double up and down. Yeah, exactly. So get something out of the way, and let's say someone throws a 1-2, so you block, and this one strikes over the top. So you're going 1, 2, and then you strike again with that one, right? So you go 1, 2, and strike. Yes. Now this strike here, the last one here, you can either pull back onto it and then go underneath. Yep. Or you could just flick it right there, kind of your own preference, depending on what he does to you, right? So let's say you throw a punch here, and I go 1, and then you throw a punch on this one, 2. So I'm going 1, 2, and this is loaded up, so I throw my punch, or I throw my back knuckle, or I throw this weird like bow and arrow, hammer fist type thing. Right, so you go 1, 2, and I go back over the top. Cool? So that means you're gonna go like this, 1, and then this one blocks the next punch in, and this one loads back. Kind of like you're pulling back a bowstring, and you're going straight through. Cool? So you're going block, block down, pull back, and strike. Block, block down, pull back, and strike. And then another way you can think about it is if like someone's diving both their hands at you, you just push both their hands out of the way, and you throw that strike, right? So if you block this one, right, block, and then block this one down, and then you throw that strike. Yeah. Is that how it was? Yeah. Block, block this one down, throw that strike. Perfect. Again, block, block this one down, throw that strike. Now imagine the one that blocking down is just sweeping a big, both my hands sweeping them down, and you throw that punch. So you do a big sweep, boom, and strike over the top. Again, nice. And that makes sense too if I throw a kick too, because you're like sweeping that leg out of the way. So do the same motion. Boom, you got that strike right there. So we call that sequence 3. We did sequence 1. Let's do that in a line here. We went open up, elbow, and pretend like we're holding the head. We pull that head down. And if someone punches here, we block the punch, we punch it off to the side here. Great. And then now, pretend like we did our steps. Now sequence 3 was block that punch coming in, block something down here, and then we throw the uppercut. Cool? So if we did it on a person here, we'll do sequence 1, block the punch, throw the elbow, boom, you grab the head, take me down, boom. Now sequence 2 is the blocking down, right? So you're going this with your left arm, boom, swing across, and you throw that counter punch here.
Okay.
Yeah, do that again. Boom, good. And then sequence 3 is blocking with that one blows. You're going boom, back. Great. Again, boom, back. Good. Awesome. So now sequence 4, what we're gonna do is pretend like we're gonna take out the leg like a throw. So I'm gonna go here. My hands were here at the end of sequence 3, right? And I'm gonna lift this foot out like this, and I'm going to throw my hands off to the side. Cool. And since we've done a little bit of judo, you can see how that kind of works as like tripping someone's leg and throwing them over the top, right? So if you're facing me this way, I can bring this foot forward, boom, and I go trip up, and I take you that way, like we've done before. So I'm going, yeah. So if you grab wrist and neck, pull me this way. So now you're going to push into me a little bit, trip out this leg, and you're gonna, with the back foot, yes, and you're gonna take me that way. Do that again. Grab, pull, push, trip, down. Good. So now we're gonna go, so we just did that, right? And we're gonna mirror that to the other side, so we'll just go here and go all the way across. Good. Now from here, it's kind of like the beginning of sequence 1 where everything goes to the hip first. And from here, we're going to just punch both to the side here. Perfect. So we'll call that sequence, I believe, 4, right? So this is number 4. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah. And this thing here is kind of like what we did in sequence 1. Yep. Cool. And how you can apply that one, just imagine like you're blasting through them and taking them back, like you're sweeping their legs. So if you throw a punch here, and I get this out of the way, I'm driving my legs behind you here, I'm going to run into you and just sweep you backwards that way, so you're going like that. So let's try that sequence 4 again. So we were starting in 3. So we lifted this leg up and we threw it off to the side. We mirror on the other side. Boom. We do the capture the head in sequence 1, and we throw everything off to the side here. Perfect. So let's do sequence 1 again on me. You block the punch, throw that elbow, capture the head, boom, turn. Sequence 2 is the block and block down, swing and throw that punch. So you're blocking this one here, boom, and punch, good. Sequence 3 is the up block, down block, and that bow and arrow, boom, boom, boom. And then sequence 4 is that leg trip. So you're grabbing behind the neck, pull me this way, push, sweep, boom. And you can do it on the other side, but that's fine. And then you're gonna do that throw. So I'll stand on this side so it's a little easier to process. So So I'm gonna throw a punch and you're gonna use this to push it out of the way. Now step your leg all the way behind me here. Yep, 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 yep. And then your hands push me this way. So it's kind of like your hands shoot. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so try that again. Push my hand out of the way, step behind. Nice. And see how your body already takes me across, right? So that's actually the first half of the kata, and then the second half is just a mirror image of that. So we do it in a line, so follow me. Let's say we got to here, we're opening up, we're receiving that haymaker here. Elbow, capture it, and then sequence 2, block, punch cross, nice. And then sequence 3 is the block top, block down, and you have that bow and arrow. Sequence 4 is swipe left, swipe right, and then full body takedown, boom. So now let's switch roles, and I'm just gonna show you, or we'll follow along with this one, the mirror image of what we just did. So someone throws a punch here, sequence 1, I throw the elbow, capture the head. Sequence 2, I block it, I punch across. Sequence 3, I block up, block down with the bow and arrow, boom. Sequence 4, we're going this way, swipe 1, swipe 2, and I do the full body takedown towards this direction. Perfect. So if you stay there, we'll go for sequence 1 in a line, right? So we're gonna go facing this way, open up, elbow, capture the head, block, punch across, block here, swipe down, you got over the top, bow and arrow, good. Take them down to the left, take them down to the right, full body takedown, boom, open up. So now second half, just mirror image. Throw that elbow, capture the head, block cross and punch, and then we have up, down, bow and arrow. Now this side, easy reminder is the hand that's up is the foot that goes up first. So I go to the right, go to the left, and then like sequence 1, full body takedown. Cool. So that's actually all the sequences in Naihanchi Shodan, and that took us 12 minutes, 30 seconds. Easy, right? So now it's just, the rest of it is just a formality of how the kata begins and ends, and then the footwork, and we'll spend some time on that. So let's start from the beginning. So we're gonna have our hands and feet together. We're gonna bow, show some respect, bring your toes together and hands in front. My left hand's over my right. And then from here, I'm going to look. You always want to look to where you're going to attack, because of course there's an attacker there. And also, like with the throws, you got to look to where you're throwing, because that's going to align your spine to that direction, right? If I'm looking this way and I'm trying to throw like that, my body's going to get twisted up. So let's go through that sequence again, and we're going to do the whole thing. So we're here, bow, feet together, hands in front, left over right. I'll look to my right, and now I'm going to cross step in front, and I'm going to uncross my feet and step out. Cool. Now, for this specific kata, my feet are kind of pointed, kind of like a triangle here, where they meet kind of like a point there. Good. Knees are bent, my hips kind of rotated forward. This helps me rotate my hips even more, kind of screws my hip into the ground. Yes. So we ended up here, right? So we go to sequence 1. Whatever you have, this hand comes out, traditionally, pull the other hand back, so you're simulating like you're pulling an arm or something, right? So I'm gonna pull back and I open up like that. Perfect. Palm up towards the ceiling, yep, just like a traditional block or traditional punch. Now I receive the elbow, boom. From here, bring it down to your waist. Now I punch across, and swing across here. Now we're gonna do our traditional step. We're gonna step across, and then we're gonna unravel our feet. Exactly what we did the other way, we're just going back this way. So now we go to sequence 2, block up, and then when we block down, just load up your strike. From here, pretend like that punch is coming in, so you're swiping it down, and you're gonna strike over the top. Cool. Now from here, you're gonna look to where you're going to trip. So I look, I swing up, and I go. I look, I swing up, and I go. I do the sequence 1 chamber, yes, and I punch. Boom. Now the second half is the mirror image, so I open up from my elbow. This one's pulled back, and now I'm going to bring my elbow to my fist, bring everything down here chambered. Now I'm going to swing across, punch across, good. Now I'm going to do my cross step here to make my way back, and uncross. From here I'm going to block up, and double block, boom, right? You're loading for that bow and arrow strike. Now I'm going to look to where I'm sweeping, sweep 1, look, sweep 2, rechamber, and full body takedown. From here, my hands open up and I close everything up here, facing the front. Bring my hands to my side, open up my toes, and then I go. Cool, and that is Naihanchi Shodan. So yeah, if you think of kata as like literal, you did this motion here, and then this pulls in, right? And then the thing about katas too is that a movement before and a movement after, they don't have to connect per se. It doesn't have to be sequential. So it's like you can literally do this in this formation and not even do a cross. You're just learning that, right? You could follow this with anything else you want. You could follow that with your bow and arrow. So it's like, you can imagine one kata teaches you a concept and then you can mix and mingle all of them as you want. So if I think of this as like the finale of a throw, and then let's say it doesn't work, right? And they start crashing into, they stumble but they don't take it down, they start tackling me. I'm like, oh crap, I'm gonna get that underhook that I showed Jack. Boom. And then look, I could take that underhook and take it this way. So like if I go here and I was like, boom, oh crap, it doesn't work, you start tackling my body here, put your head on this side, boom. And this is my head capture that we just did.
Yeah, that's true.
But now if I just throw my hands this way, you're gonna have to follow that way. And it's like a failed attempt into another takedown, right? So that could be another interpretation of that. And then you could just, if you think about body mechanics, like how many times can I figure out a way to manipulate a person just doing this motion with my body? So the one we just did was outside foot. If this foot was forward, but I didn't change anything, it would be inside foot, right? If I'm not even thinking of it as a foot thing, maybe I'm going behind your knee and pushing it, but it's the same motion, right? Maybe I'm gonna throw a knee forward, boom, and that was that interpretation.
Yeah.
Or maybe your foot's forward, this foot's forward, and I throw a stomp to the knee here. But then it's the same here, right? So it's like how, it's up to you how many ways you can see it, but then that means that to make it work, you have to put in the reps to make it work, that's all. So that's why I'm always like, if someone asks me, does this mean this? It's like, yes, it can mean that, but if you make it work, it'll mean that.
I see.
And then also, as you try things out, some things might not work, right? Like mechanically, so then you kind of throw those away. That's why the whole thing is about playing with somebody or playing with the idea of kata to figure out how it's going to work or if it's going to work, right? So I've thrown out more things than I kept in that sense. Like maybe 10 years ago I would have tried to like maybe use this as a kicking of the hand or something, right? It's like, let's try that. And then my leg gets captured when I try it. I was like, let's scratch that, let's try something else, right? It could be a stomp to the top of the foot, boom, right? Whatever you think, you can rake down the shin, right? And then it's like, am I facing you or am I sideways to you? Because the kata is for some reason sideways.
Yeah.
So maybe it's like, people think people attacking from the side, or maybe I'm shooting through you, or that's like a step so I can throw, and it's a side entrance for a step. So there's a lot of things we could think of in that sense. But yeah, you could think the literal movement or the movement you're gonna make it work somehow. The movement to make it work, yeah.